Hello everyone! In today's product launch, I have a special guest, Jiri, a multidisciplinary designer that's gonna explain his story and his project story to us with Milan Design Market.
Hello everyone, my name is
Hello!
Jiří. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So shall I introduce myself, like now?
Yeah, just tell me about you and you as a designer and your story, and then we're gonna see how you come up with the projects. Like first we're gonna get to know you, and then we will see also the final projects.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation to take a part of this Milan Design Market, and I'm very happy that I can't have also the interview here. And maybe at the beginning, I will just tell to like others who doesn't know my work a little bit about me and how I just get to the idea of those glass objects I'm presenting within Milan Design Market. So maybe if you could show my website, I will tell you something a bit about my work. Yeah.
Perfect.
So basically, I was studying at the high school the furniture design, and after 4 years at the university where I was focused only on the furniture, I wanted to exceed the variety of materials which I could work with. So I decided to go for product design studies. And after like my bachelor studies, I felt again that I would like to do more of the furniture. So I went for free mover study internship to Royal Danish Academy of Fine Art in Copenhagen. And after I came back, I was doing diploma thesis. I can show you what was it, just to have an idea. My diploma thesis.
So first you started as a you studied design, and then you also go in deep to art, right? Like so you have that's why you're a multidisciplinary designer. You have the both side in your education.
Yeah, I basically doing furniture, lighting, glass, interiors, and also installations for different companies and the designers. And a part of commercial projects, I'm also doing my personal projects, which are more, I would say, art design based. And I will show you later those two projects I'm working on now, or I was working recently, and one of them has launched at Milan Design Market, those glass objects. So first I was
you were telling me about your
so I will just show you to get an idea about the previous stuff I did. So just a quick view of what I was doing. So this was, for example, the collection of furniture. It was dining table and chairs. It's made of multiplex board. It's all CNC cutted with 5 CNC machine, and it's assembled without glue. And the point of this furniture was that those construction parts are like a graphic element, which makes it like a visually interesting also. So this construction is also the aesthetical main point, I would say. And when I finished
if it's your graduation project, then how did you produce it? Like you're an independent designer, so you found a company who helped you, or you made them by your hand? But I don't think so, because they look perfectly done.
Exactly. Like actually, this was really a challenge, because if you're familiar with CNC machines. Like most of the wood workshop have like 3-axis CNC, and not many of them have 5-axis CNC. And 5-axis CNC machine means that the axis just doesn't go just like 3 axis, just up down, but can also like change
the angles.
Angle. Yeah, and there are just like back then in 2015 when this project was done, there were not that many of companies who had this equipment, and even if they had, they didn't. They were not able to use it properly. So finally, I had kind of like a problem with this diploma thesis that it was actually really on last call, and it was actually quite funny because it was like 5 days between handing the projects to the university. I also had the exhibition at Prague Design Week, so I made like 2 pieces, like 2 dining tables and 12 chairs, and actually I didn't have time to do proper photo shooting, etc. But finally it really settled really well. But the place where you've seen the photos, it's spraying room in the wood workshop, actually.
No, it's amazing though. You got a good light there.
Yeah, exactly. And I like as everything is sprayed to white, so it got this monochromatic feeling. So the pictures, you just see those like flowers and the blue shelves, and the photos are by one talented Czech photographer. Her name is Taja Spaskova, and she actually do photographs of most of my objects. You can see at my website. So this was actually quite last time did project, but finally everything was done successfully. So yeah, this was my diploma thesis, and after I finished, I started to work for one Czech famous glass artist, and that's how I got in the field of glass. And I was getting experience, and as you know, Czech Republic is a country of glass, so here is a big tradition of glass in my country, and it's like that you have to collect years and years experience to understand how this material works. So for example, as you know, you have like 2 types of glass. The one is like a technical glass, like Simax type. That's a glass which could be like welded and cutted. You rather work with it like with the metal, I would say. This was one of the projects. It was like a stand of office suppliers, and also this stand for monitor, like organizer. So this was my first project with technical glass I did. And then I did those balls, which was like it's quite minimalistic, I would say, but at the same time, it's really complicated craft. It's I will not get into the details because maybe
I hear you also wood.
The pedestals are from the wood, and the concept is that you have like 3 balls and 3 pedestals, and from the bottom part there is semisphere which hold the glass ball in the middle, and you can change the like combinations of those like balls, how you put it. And if you turn this marble or wood pedestal around, there is also like a ball from the other side. And,
actually, this is an interesting project because I hear my voice. I don't know why, but I don't know if it disturbed you. It's really interesting because like when you do a table, you like designers, especially artists, architects, like from our field, we really like to change and always makes experiment the presentation of the product, so like of the food we are putting on the table. So like that we can have all the time different levels. So it's really cool. Why don't we have these products on our e-store then? We should get them.
Actually, I just made two examples of this, and the one got sold, And actually, it was also a really nice story about it. I will just set it briefly. It's like a one glass gallery here in Prague who had this one collection of balls. The another one I have at home. I don't want to sell this one. And the one visitor from Germany went there, and he was, I think he was from Berlin, and he came to this shop and he was really in love with those balls. But back that time, this gallery was not doing the shipping, so he was just with luggage bag, and he said, "I like it," and but they said, "Okay, but unfortunately we just to peg it." But he said, "Okay, but I'm here just by train only with this backpack, and I first going to Dresden, and after Dresden I'm going back to Berlin, so it will be kind of complicated. But I will think about it." So he just went back, and then after a few hours, he came back and said, "Okay, I'm buying it. I'm taking it." So he just packed it in his backpack, and it's quite heavy. It doesn't seems like, but you can see it here that it's quite thick wall. So the diameter of this ball.
So it's a great satisfaction for the designer to someone to get this much involved with the creation.
True.
Amazing.
It's really nice that someone is willing to carry it for for 2 days to Dresden first, and then back to home. So yeah, it was nice satisfaction. Yeah, maybe now I will just because we don't have much time. I will just tell you the recent stuff I was doing. Also part of glass and furniture. I'm also doing installations. For example, this is the installation I made for one Czech glass factory called Rikl. It was for Ambiente design fair. So it's more like, it was like a more commercial proposal, I would say. But also I'm designing for the designers and for smaller companies. And the latest projects I did are, which actually also unify my, I would say, attention. I am really into combining old and new, like working with the context of history, and within this project, which are the coffee tables from Eclecticism Collection, where I pursue the relation between the past and the present. I have collection of like many tables, and those two are first two I presented last year at October at Designblok. And the idea behind is that each table from the collection has the inspiration from the past, and is devoted to a certain person, which is somehow connected to the era, etc. And those two were presenting the dialogue between ancient Greek aesthetic, which is the table at the right side, the wooden one, like, and the other side.
Is it wooden? I thought it was marble. To me, it was looking marble from here.
Cherry wood, actually. So this one is made of solid cherry wood. It's also really complicated craft. It has like a many details, like those groves, and again also here at the tabletop is it has like this shape. So
actually, it looks like marble, as you said. It really reminds me the ancient Greek columns. So like the even the material looks different than itself.
Yeah. So that was the idea, that it's inspired by ancient Greek, and it's devoted to one ancient Greek architect, Iktinos, who was one of those responsible for defining those Doric, Ionic, and Corinth styles. And this another table was inspired by Josip Ličník, who is the Slovene architect. And in his late period, he's also taking a lot of inspiration from ancient. So those like two tables were kind of like presenting this dialogue about present and past, and that even nowadays those ancient aesthetic is still really topical. And I really like this, that it's like almost 2000 years ago, but it's still very, very topical in contemporary design, I said. And actually those two tables I was just shipping them to Rossana Orlandi Gallery in Milano. They had to be exhibited at Salone 2020. Unfortunately, it was cancelled, but Rossana will open the summer gallery with the wooden one, and the another one will stay at her Milan gallery. I also won at Designblok the prize in category the best novelty by designer, and I also get some other nominations from Eledeco International Awards and Czech Grand Design Award. So that's one project which work with the context of history, and the another one
with this project.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And also, I presented at Designblok, which is the main design fair in Czech Republic. It's every year in October. I also launched a glass collection called Heritage Contemporary. And in this collection, I was, because the topic of the Designblok was working with the past and like just do something topical. I wanted to work with upcycling. Mm-hmm. So that was the one intention of this collection. And the another intention was, again, like discussion between past and the present. And Czech Republic has a really long tradition of hand-cut crystal. And from my point of view, it's kind of like a grandma stuff. Everyone has it at home, and it's really not that nice anymore at all. But my idea was let's take these traditional old pieces and put them into contemporary context by combining them with the new objects which I like hand blown. I did not, but the special craftsmen did, according to my design proposal. So that's how this collection of glass objects was created. So every object from the collection is unique because this upcycled glass is collected. So I am just contacting different antique shops, different collectors, and then I'm buying those objects from them, I'm restoring them, and I'm combining them with those newly hand-blown objects and putting them together in a way of crystal glass.
Sure.
Pardon?
So I was going to say that when Almudena, like, she's a designer and scouting like young designers. When she come up with this project, I said, it's just so cool, because when I saw the pieces, I was like, oh, my grandma had this, like, because also where am I from, that my grandma always had this candies in this glass pieces, and I was not appreciating it before. Like, it's a lot of handwork. Like, they are actually really particular products, but when you're not aware of it, but seeing it mixed with something contemporary like this, I was like, wow, it's a really cool idea, and every piece is just gonna be unique because they're coming from past. Like, you cannot find maybe one more of the same vase that you have. But where are you collecting? Are they all from Czech Republic, or you have also pieces coming from other countries?
Yeah, the most of them are from Czech Republic, but for example, those are Venetian, those two, like the red and the amber one.
Right.
And but mostly they are from Czech Republic, actually. And also those crystals, I'm usually doing like sandblasting of them. And I will show you those because actually at Designblok, I also was selected by the jury, the editors of Wallpaper magazine, which I was really happy about. And they actually selected this collection of glass as the one of 5 most interesting projects they found in Prague at Designblok. So they made an article about it. And now I have to get back to my website, actually. so it was nice feedback and satisfaction. I can also like show you. I have some here at my, yeah, just to get the idea. Maybe now you can.
Okay, so we can, yeah, we can put. Okay.
Yeah. So here are also some other ones like this.
So these are your pieces that you're not sharing them with anyone, collecting. They're like, you're gonna keep them for you.
Well, not really, because actually every object is unique. I can't repeat any. This one is called like plečník. This one object. So
what is that object? Glass object on top.
And this one, yeah, it's also like this is the heritage piece, and this is like a new piece. And actually, this is also really difficult technique, like in how this is made. I can describe it later, but maybe it's too technical. But it's actually really, I was trying like the different patterns on those like glass pieces I made. And it actually looks a little bit like a porcelain. And you can see
also terracotta, terrazzo, sorry.
Yeah, you have like more layers of colored glass, and at the top there is put opal glass, which is like the white. But to put opal glass at the top, it's quite difficult for the craftsmen. So they don't like to do it. So you have to, every time when you want to do something like that, really convince them, because it's very problematic to do it. So yeah, and also I can show you those which I was sharing on the screen, those which were launched did at wallpaper. It's like a jewelry box. So this, I don't know if you see it. So this upper part, you can open it and you can store candies inside, or you can store jewelry there, or you can have it just like objects. I rather like because this collection also consider like bowls and vases, but I consider them the best, like the object. So as you've seen it like placed on my shelf, I like it just, it doesn't, you don't need to put anything in it. It's just like a piece of art which could be exhibited at your shelf or at your table. It's up on everyone, but it's not needed to use it and have it as a functional objects. Yeah.
So basically, you decide if you want to use it as a functional object or if you want to use it as a sculpture. So it's also the product decides by itself if it wants to be the sculpture or if it wants to be object that can be used for something that is functional.
Yeah, exactly. So my intention, like generally to summarize it, was really to try to bring something very traditional, very decorative, and just combine it with something newly made and create this combination. I really like this tension between like something which is really detailed and something really with the ornaments as I showed here, like you see those ornaments, and at the other hand, you have something which is with dots, and it look a little bit like recycled plastic, for example. It's glass, but I have this association because there are these like particles, and yeah, that was my intention to come up with really contrast shapes that I would say it has almost like a Baroque aesthetic, maybe from some point of view that it's very complicated, like shape-wise, and that's what I like about the collection, that every piece is kind of like a unique and very different.
Yeah. Do you want to say something that now we are presenting them on our platform and they can go and buy your products after knowing it's from you? It's has much more value than you just see without knowing the story. So who is going to go to our website? Do you want to tell them something particular of the pieces that you chose for us to be be online.
Yeah, actually, the first edition of Object, it was like 35 pieces approximately. Already, I would say almost half is already sold. And those whose are left, part of them I'm presenting at the Milan Design Market. And as we already mentioned, they are unique pieces, so they will probably not be made again. Or if they would be, it would be different, because you can't like find, even if you would find two same doses from the past, you will not be able, and I don't want to produce the same like shapes and same colors of the newly made part. So yeah, that's basically it. And I'm preparing a new edition, like edition 2, with new pieces, which I would launch at the exhibition at Bratislava at September. So those are my plans.
So you're doing many exhibitions and you're participating many design weeks, and I really wanted to know, what do you think for youngs? It's not about the projects, or what do you think for like emerging independent young designers when they participate to this kind of fairs? Do you think it's giving really good visibility? Does it work? Does it work? I just wanted to know what you think about it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very important part of what we do, then to show it, because like many artists are like that, they just doing and producing, and then it's very sad that the world don't have chance to see it. So if you shooting to different sites, that you kind of like exhibiting at different exhibitions and taking part of different platforms, it's definitely really good for emerging designers from my point of view, because there is bigger chance that someone important will see it and will give some opportunity to them.
Perfect. So actually, I hope we can collaborate with you for the design week that is canceled this year, but for the next year, maybe you can take part in Milan Design Market or in Isola directly, because we are just working with independent designers, young, emerging, and new ideas. So our focus point is exactly this. So hopefully we can like host you, and we can have you also in our exhibitions. So you can also try another exhibition in Milan.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to say that if you're not going to add something else, do you want to add something else?
I think I said a lot of things. So if someone would like to see more of my project, they can just Google my name and visit my Instagram.
Yeah, I was just going to say this. We're going to put under the link of this YouTube video both your contacts, like the Milan Design Market link, and all the, like, they're going to find you from, like, whoever watched this video can find all the information in the description section of this video.
Perfect. So thank you very much for invitation and for this interview, and I wish you
thank you very much for like sharing us all your ideas and having this interview with me. I'm really happy about it. So hope to see you then. Like,
yeah. Thank you, Elif.
Hope to see you when all this ends. Okay, thank you, Jiri. Thank you very much. Bye. See you later. See you. Hopefully see you. Ciao, ciao.